Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just a little over 5 months away from its official release date by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio that is all set to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So by far, one of the more intriguing elements of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is the fact that we will be learning a lot more about Jedi and Sith lore, as well as Force lore, all within the second act of Episode 9, that is really going to stand out on its own in order to benefit many of the characters such as Rey and Kylo Ren in this story, since both of these characters will be going on their personal missions in the middle of the movie. Now these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for the first Jedi and his true identity in Episode 9. Now specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of Rey traveling to the Lost City, where it's explained that she is searching for the Land of Warriors, a place full of ancient Jedi ruins and statues. It said that Rey is in need of ancient Jedi lore to create a new order that will reset the rules of what best suits Rey's vision of a new order. It's described that one of the sequences Rey discovers a large statue that is said to stand around 50 feet high, that is described to be the statue of the first Jedi. Additionally, it's said that toward the back of the statue, there is ancient Jedi code that Rey is able to translate with her book, where she is eventually able to learn the name of the first Jedi. It's described that the statue of the first Jedi is dubbed as Kanraz Atami. It's said that the statue of Kanraz Atami also holds more ancient Jedi books and texts that Rey eventually collects and stores within her large backpack that she uses to store Jedi lore as well as Sith lore. Additionally, it's described that this statue contains the first kyber crystal held by a Jedi and is described to be a pure kyber crystal that Rey also collects. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, since we do know that Episode 9 is going to introduce a whole entire different aspect of the franchise that fans have never seen before on the big screen, and this by far really tops the list here. You know, learning more about the first Jedi is going to be a big deal in Episode 9, and without a doubt, it really does somewhat tie into the new Star Wars trilogy by the creators of Game of Thrones, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, because after all, we do know that many of the rewrites that took place during the months of November and December, a lot of those rewrites actually added in connections of what we are going to notice throughout the 2020s for the new trilogy by the Game of Thrones guys. So I want to go over the name of the first Jedi. Now, the name is Kanraz Atami. Kanraz Otami. Very interesting name for a Jedi, if you will. Now, the first Jedi, we do know that he is a statue, of course. He's not alive, per se, in the Lost City or the Land of Warriors, whatever have you. But Rey learns about the ancient ways of the Jedi through, of course, the ancient text that is etched into the statue itself. And within the actual ancient text, she's able to learn the official name of the first Jedi from thousands of years ago. Now, we do know that Luke Skywalker had a lot of books of, the ancient Jedi stored within the tree library, but that's not the end of it all. She discovers more books upon, traveling into the Lost City and the Land of Warriors and learning more about the ways of the ancient Jedi, which is going to be a very interesting side of Star Wars. I think that's more of the interesting aspects of Episode 9, is of course learning more about the mythology, right? I'm more into the mythology more than the wars per se, I guess you could say. When I look at Star Wars, I think more about the Jedi, the Sith, and the mythology of it all, especially since if you are, heavily into the EU / of course, Star Wars Legends. Mind you though, I do love the battles, I love the space battles, I just find the mythology to be a little bit more interesting since it really kind of goes into it in more depth. Now, the one thing about Episode 9 is that we also know that this Jedi lore is going to be used as a way for Rey to build a new order. So that's the biggest question of all. The Jedi Order, where does it stand at the very end of this movie? Is it really going to go away, like how Yoda said and Luke Skywalker said in The Last Jedi, where he actually questions Yoda? So it is time for the Jedi Order to end, and Yoda says time it is. So is that, the actual path that J.J. Abrams is going, or was that just Rian Johnson's vision that's going to be erased by J.J. Abrams? That's a big question open on the table for sure. And I think that a lot of fans would agree that they would rather have the Jedi Order pretty much, stay present in the galaxy, because that's what we are all used to. There's a lot of theories floating around out there that one of the meanings of the official title of Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, could very well be the rise of the Skywalker Order, per se. And I'm not quite sure how I would really feel about that, to be honest. I'm not quite sure if I'm really up for that idea. I will say that it seems like it's going in that direction. I will not deny that. I really do believe that it's going in that direction, that Rey is going to create a brand new order that's not going to be called the Jedi Order. So with that being said, I would love to hear what each and every one of you had to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No hiding on one. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.